Alright, welcome back to the Golden Gift Meta Plays Tournament. We're here in Qualifier 1. So the opening to the 2023 season calendar. We have batuhaNN here as the blue Hades player, up against Count Von Count as the red Odin player. We're here on Ghost Lake today. So Hades has got some exceptional ranged, particularly late game, while Odin, like any Norse, have a lot of aggression early on, and Odin in particular gets a lot of vision with those ravens. Probably doesn't quite have the go forward potential of Loki or Thor as such, because Thor's going to get access to that gold mine, saving on having to go for a early second ox cart, while Loki, every fight you take, and you're generally best off going mass hearse here, I suppose. Every fight you take with them, you can summon myth units up, so that's always nice. To count, only a couple of the goats there, but they aren't going to get the rest. Count intending to go on this hunt next. He'll be there for quite a while once he finishes this boar. Actually, Odin does get a hunting steroid, so that is going to be helpful for him. So perhaps going to be able to battle batuhaNN's cage here early, but batuhaNN on the Greeks going to have a lot of versatility with being able to scale up an army in Age 2 or go straight for a quick Age 3 and second town center style of play. Nice, well-rounded civ, the Greeks, and it probably doesn't really matter which major god you're going early. Although with Hades, he doesn't have access to the centaur line that the other Greek major gods do, so perhaps not going to get the chance to play a very hit-and-run style game into the Norse player unless he opts for going with mass hippocons, because playing with a couple of centaur early on, as expensive as it is and as light on as it leaves you for stuff back at home, you know, it's a big threat to your opponent, makes it very difficult trying to secure outer resources. Count gonna split those ravens up and send them to go scout different sides of the Greek base straight away. Always a good idea. So batuhaNN going for Freya. Have access to Valkyries and Forest Fire. While It's whatever reason it's oh, sorry, I got the players flipped there. Sorry, it's Count's going to Freya. batuhaNN. And they're just taking Athena now. So he's going to have access to Minotaur, healing, improved hoplites. And yeah, restoration. The only form of healing that Greeks actually gets in this version of the game. It's not till extended edition that Greeks actually got some form of reliable long-term healing with one of their hero units. Also the ox cart get harassed here. Greek player batuhaNN looking to put in the pressure on Count early on here. Villager coming to forward build, perhaps getting caught. The relic that batuhaNN's got, going to give his infantry even more hack armor, so he was going for Athena, so he's going to have more pierce and improved damage with the hoplite, so all round they're going to be a very solid unit. Get this relic back at home. Fight the hearse here. Forest fire being used by Count. Will actually hurt units and buildings nearby the forest. Minotaur. There's a bit of health there. batuhaNN. Attempt to go for second town center now. Count's own Raven kicked off now. Chiron. batuhaNN wasn't able to get Count's ox cart, but at the same time I think he did get the hearse here, did get the relic in the end.
Λέγε.
Let's wall off batuhaNN. Not going to be as sounded as it once was with the tree line there. Count's got a pretty impressive force here. He's got a few raiders and a few Hersia in the mix. I don't think he's going to be able to get this settlement straight away, but he should be able to fight this army with ease. Hades Sentinels being used now, like having 4 little towers. In fact, I think these guys have no minimum range, so it makes them even a little bit stronger than your initial towers. So batuhaNN just walling himself in for the time being, but Count only on 1 town center right now, has a lot more military up. Gonna try raiding the berries while he keeps batuhaNN's army busy up here. Just bearing in mind he's only really got the heroes and his free units. Raiders find it tough to actually get on top of the villagers here. A couple of them being singled out now. The army coming to back this up. One of the villagers is going to fall, but the rest are going to be used to try and actually fight the raiders. So one of those villagers being picked off by Count. Everyone looking to add those improved hoplites he's got. raiders. Slightly faster than the Greek units to be able to get out. Valkyrie's going to be able to heal up these low raiders as well. So it's useful for Count to keep taking these engages. It's funny, as an AOEO player mainly, in AOM with Freya or with whatever minor god it is that gives the healing spring, Norse has an awful lot of healing early on. Yeah, because Valkyries and because of the healing spring. Whereas in AOEO, they're sort of renowned as the civ that's got pretty much the latest access to healing, along with Greeks, funnily enough. Whereas in this, you know, Greeks has latest access to healing, but Norse has probably got some of the earliest and some of the most reliable. It's confusing sometimes. The scout noticing Count going for the second TC, falling. It gives batuhaNN a bit of intel as to what his opponent's looking to do. And that sort of follow-up with economy rather than doubling down an army at this point, because batuhaNN looking pretty safe on 2 town centers. So Count going to want to try and get up to 2 himself and then keep applying this pressure, prevent batuhaNN from getting all the way up to 3. Force the Greek player to have to try and move out to attack him potentially. Count just sort of making his presence known. Doesn't really want to dive under the town centre because batuhaNN can always just garrison the villages. But at the same time, it's batuhaNN's sort of forced to keep nearby and try and keep a comparable army that'll actually prevent him from just adding some more units and going in. Because I can imagine Count, yep, is going to Heroic Age, getting Skadi, so access to those Frost Giants. batuhaNN just having to get a couple of units just to make sure that he can't get overwhelmed yet before he also goes to Heroic. Bearing in mind he has lost a villager or 2 and has been gathering off the berries quite a lot at this point, while looks like Count not having to rely so much on the berries. It's just so much of a slower food source. batuhaNN's had to invest in double villager production a little bit earlier here than his opponent, so be chewing up that food a little bit quicker as well. Age up now on the way, Aphrodite, so Count. Age up kicking in, batuhaNN gonna have access to Nemean Lion and Curse. Also some nice upgrades for his villagers. Massive raiders. They are actually going to stick around and try and bait a fight a little bit longer. Going to soak up some more range damage doing so, but does pull a villager out of whack there. Doesn't really do much else to any of the other villagers. But Count not really taking a lot of damage. As long as the Valkyrie doesn't go down, she can still top up all the rest of the units. I wonder if it's ever worth getting a second Valkyrie just to top up the first, but it would be a very expensive favour commitment. And well, Count's got a little bit left, and a little bit of food, but the more favour he's got, the more he can pump into Frost Giants. And I mean, when he goes into Mythic, he'll probably want to go Ragnarok, have access to the Fire Giants for their amazing siege damage, and have access to Ragnarok, just the ultimate oh shit button. Huskar production now as well. these guys, just a nice, all-rounded, slightly tankier, slightly faster infantry. Even slightly faster than Ulsarks. Yeah, really nice, tanky, generalist unit. Good under the archer fire. So Huskarl throwing axemen. Be very difficult for batuhaNN to deal with just Hoplite Toxote. But he does make good use of that curse power, so he's going to steal a lot of the army, turn a lot of it into pigs. Count going to take those back home. Well, batuhaNN content just to leave his pigs there. Maybe he doesn't like pork. Engagement going on here with Count. Grabbing those pigs there. Get in the way of his army units. As Valkyrie goes down, Villagers taking a bit of a beating here, but it is pulling away from Count's ability to actually fight batuhaNN. batuhaNN using Restoration there. He is going to get frosted through this as well. So both our players left high and dry for God powers at this stage of the game. This is going to mean that batuhaNN's newly trained units can take the fight, but everything else already out here on the field. Haste, snow. So they've actually got maxed out armor. And this doesn't happen when Frost Giants actually freeze units. There's no change to unit armor. They just get frozen for a couple of seconds. Although it looks like that one didn't trigger till a little bit late there, for whatever reason. But yeah, all these frozen units are actually going to be super tanky, so I have to wonder if Count was maybe better off trying to hit this town center, because I'm trying to get a hero out of there as well now. Because yeah, it just gives you so much armor in the meantime. You will lose units in the meanwhile. Your opponent is going to sort of get the upper hand, but even still, their damage is really sort of minimal, really slow when the army is frosted. So personally, I do like to actually rush down buildings if I am this close. So it looks like Count gonna have to retreat in the end here. All the Huskarls are still alive though. Just goes to show how tanky those motherfuckers are. batuhaNN 105 pop. Count 115, so he is still slowly pulling ahead, but again I think if he, with that frost there and countering the restoration as good as it was, he possibly could have hit the town center or even just sniped all the military production around here. If you ask why, he can probably tell you which, based on which skeleton type, which unit actually died. But Count, continuing the aggression up, he's not really hitting anywhere else at this stage. He's just continuing to stream all of his units across into the center here. It's forcing batuhaNN to have to defend this gold mine, because I think it's really the only gold mine he's on at the moment. Looks like Count on both of these outer ones at the moment. But I'm gonna have to get his third town center and market. Pump a lot of caravans before he runs out of gold here. So there's only about 3,000 more gold there. Bearing in mind, there is a lot of gold here for the taking still for Count, because I think, you know, realistically he's actually got both of these central golds. And he's still got this one at home, so he's actually chewed through a little bit more gold count than his Greek opponent here, but now batuhaN actually getting on one of these side golds. The town center's going to get interrupted, but batuhaN going to be more content to try and interrupt those gold gatherers. There's no gold, no units. Caravan production started up now for count. It's been a rough fight for him to take because he hasn't really got any Huskarls here. And there's most of the Toxotes, so he needs to get more Huskarls or add some more Raiders into his army once again. Just bearing in mind the Greek player is now going for Hypaspist, so he could go Raider throwing Axeman once again. Sort of force the Greek player to go back into Hoplite Toxotes. There's been a nice catch up here by count. He's really restricting batuhaN's gold economy at the moment. batuhaN still really nice fight capability as the Greeks, but we need to try and peel off a small segment of his army to come and deal with these guys. Count going to grab as much gold as he can here, and I think he might even look to Ragnarok as soon as he gets as close to mining this out or losing this control of this area, because I think he's in a good spot too. He's only on 2 town center. Realistically, his opponent is only on 2. He's about to go to 4 as well. That's been tough. batuhaN. And for now, the Frost Giants were sniping the Toxotes, but they are starting to attack the Chiron, which isn't so good. You probably want other units focusing down Chiron, while the Fire Giants just decimate all your human units. So batuhaN ultimately going to get those Fire Giants. They were focusing well in that fight earlier, but yeah, they were just attacking the hero switch again. Not so good for the Fire Giants because they'll deal a lot of damage and they'll even splash on the human units, which is really, really good. And Ragnarok being popped, like I said. So he did manage to get all 4 town centers down, but as soon as he loses control of this area, it's time to Ragnarok, because now count up to 290 pop. Very tough for batuhaN to hold on against now. He's still only in heroic age. And there's 100 of these heroes on the way.
Yo.
Not quite 100 here, but actually close to. The fortress under a lot of threat here. I don't know if batuhaN's got enough to hold on here. Pretty much write this fortress off and try and get another one behind the wall up here. The military academy not going to finish off. Gold gatherers being harassed now as well. A lot of shades being produced, but I think these guys aren't all that good against the heroes, because technically they are a myth unit. I think they're a myth unit anyway. Someone can correct me. Yeah, they're going to get killed pretty quickly. Now it's looking really rough for batuhaN at the moment, with count up 2 town centers, still at over 250 pop. He's Ragnarok though, so he's not going to have any income other than his gold income. And I mean, he's really only got half a dozen caravans. Not the longest market line in the world either. But saying that, it looks like it's doing the job, because count is only dropping population quite slowly here still. batuhaN, 95 pop. I think think he's just praying he can gather enough to spend through this, but he's out of gold gatherers now. And he's lost control of all gold mines on the map. There is a market to sell wood into gold. GG Count takes the game.